So welcome to the Key to Truly Harmonious Connections Part 2. We are channeling the Elfian Warriors of Universal Unity. The Elfian Warriors of Universal Unity are part of the two main tribes of the Elfian Warrior domain. The Warrior domain is the Elfians that work with inspiration and the Warrior frequency. Warrior frequency is a frequency of truth that helps us overcome a lot of the lower things from the lower polarity, as well as just a higher light frequency of communicators and higher knowledge and expressing. The two tribes are the tribes of free will and the tribes of the peacemakers. They call them the North and the South. The Universal Unity Warriors work with the tribes of free will because, I don't really know, they'll explain that. I never fully understood the breakdown of it, but they're Elfian Warriors of freedom, divine justice, universal unity, divine tranquility or universal tranquility, truly harmonious connections, and kindness. So all of those different pillars can help us overcome the lower polarity and step into higher light. So let a universal unity warrior, divine feminine energy wants to come forth. They have me call forth their full title in the domain that they're from most of the time, just to ensure that it's the accurate person and being that I'm connecting to, not being Elf, correcting me already. Okay. And when they step forth, they might ask you to participate in things, just to open your mind. So they're saying they want the protection to happen first. So I'm the best to guide the protection. I'm going to invite you guys right now to close your eyes. I'm going to call forth your guardian angels to put you in a bubble of divine light and love, an invincible tube of divine light and love. Your guardian angels are surrounding you and their wings are acting as a shield, affirming to you that nothing and no one can access you nor your energy without your permission. They're going to invite you to open your mind to messages to come to you that are for your highest good and betterment of your ascension. Whatever you feel inspired to take with you, whatever resonates with you, is for your highest good. And so they are going to guide you in finding that clarity. We're going to call on Archangel Gabriel to bring in clarity, Archangel Raphael to bring healing through words, Archangel Michael to protect the energy of this space, and Archangel Uriel to give us all a little strength and willpower and a little recharge of energy before this upcoming eclipse, and to open us all up to the messages that come through. And when you all feel ready, you can open your eyes. You can close your eyes the whole reading if you choose, it's up to you. So now I'll let the Divine Feminine Universal Unity Warrior step forth. Hello! I'm jumping right into it. So it's so exciting to be talking about this. I've wanted to come through to communicate to the collective for the longest time. I'm one of the representatives of Universal Unity Warriors. There's lots of us. We work on the polarity line. So we do a lot of work in helping the ascension of the polarity and a lot of work with ley lines and clearing ley lines and imprints. We work specifically with Archangel Daniel and Zedkiel. Archangel Daniel works with divine justice and Zedkiel with karmic balance, which the divine justice warriors work with both of those things, but we work with them as well. And so for the betterment of your karmic balance, I want to give you an affirmation, and you can say it with in your head. You don't have to say it out loud, but it's just, my karma is clean. And I ask for divine guidance and how to keep clearing and cleaning my karma. I ask for divine guidance on how to have justice on my side, and I'm affirming that I'm at one with divine justice and I'm at one with divine karma, with karmic balance. Just affirming I am at one with divine justice and I'm at one with my karmic balance, and my karma is clean, or it is cleaning itself up. Just opening yourself up to that. Because clearing the karmic balance is one of the first steps to connecting to unity. And that is where the angel aura quartz comes in, wherever the communicator placed these things. Okay, I believe this one looks clear and white? Yes? Yes. Okay, angel aura quartz. Angel aura quartz is helping you connect to the archangels and clearing your karmic balance, and working to overcome any blockages in your life, working to understand the messages and lessons from your past lives or past in this lifetime, as well as a little bit of inner child healing. That's a different pillar. It's working with the angels. First step to connecting to unity, because it opens you up to your guardian angels. And your guardian angels and the archangels have lots of messages to support you. In finding oneness with oneself, it's important to acknowledge what kind of blockages you might have within yourself that may be blocking you from being open to connections that are truly harmonious. And a lot of them are mental blocks, which angel aura quartz can help with a lot of mental blocks, and is one of the crystals that we call a physical representation of Archangel Gabriel's diamond of clarity, because it can help you clear your mind. A lot of mental blocks and thought patterns and programmings that you have from your youth or even your present moment today are things that can cause judgment, maybe even jealousy and anger, preconceived notions that can cause you to look at someone and completely write them off based on a bias. There are an infinite number of biases, or so it seems like. We had our communicator search into the different type of biases so we could have some different wordings in the human language to communicate to you all based on. But in effort of doing that, we learned with her that there is a lot of them. There are biases based on things like what is related to you, not wanting to be open to things that aren't related to you. Biases on your own experiences, and if someone's going through something similar as you, it has to be the same. Writing somebody off based on things that you were taught by someone else. Or because, like when our communicator had a dog phobia, writing off an entire group of people based on one person from that group. Or because of one dog, writing off all the dogs. And that causes discord within you because you are beings of unconditional love originally. You are beings of light, love, and life. You are beings of life. You are from the tree of life, and the tree of life is planted in light and love. And so when you choose to go against love, when you choose to choose judgment or fear, you are going against yourself. And in turn, you're not having that internal harmony. And so how would you attract truly harmonious connections if you aren't harmonious within yourself? So that is where we're having rose quartz come in, wherever the rose quartz little piece is. This feels like rose quartz. This looks pink? Yes. Okay. So you're getting used to this. Typically, a communicator does not move around as much when we channel. So rose quartz is connection to your higher hearts. With Universal Unity, turning in and turning on to the work with Archangel Chamuel, the higher heart, divine love, cosmic hearts, all of these higher heart frequencies, and most importantly, the ascension of your emotional body. A lot of inner discord can come through trauma, pain, broken heart, grudges, everything that goes into your heart. If someone has ever betrayed you, if someone has ever broken your trust, drained your energy, or made you feel this weight on your chest that is so unexplainable, or made you feel grief because of something that either happened where they passed on, or grief for something of them just saying, I'm done, I'm going to walk away from you, and I'm going to make you feel the loss of me, and then I'm going to come back into your life again and keep this toxic cycle repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating over and over and over again. That causes grief to the heart. And all of that goes straight through your heart chakra, to your emotional body, to your inner child. And you're going to notice a theme that a lot of things about Universal Unity and, truly harmonious connections and harmony from within goes directly to your inner child. That is because a lot of things that stop that oneness is inner childs that just aren't able to flourish. Inner childs that aren't able to heal. And you're acting from everything from the past and not wanting to move forward and open your mind and change more. Now, of course, people in this room, you are all changing and expanding in different ways, but it's things from the past that are influencing you so directly in the future. And anything from the past, even a month ago, goes directly to the inner child. And that's blockages from the past that isn't allowing you to live a present moment full of harmony and unity within yourself and with others, but also a future where the possibility of that is even possible. So with the rose quartz, you can connect to this crystal with the frequency of unity to bring unity to your heart chakra, your emotional body, and your inner child. Because balancing all of those opens the portal for your higher heart chakra to activate. Now I know most people are familiar with the 7 chakras, but there is more. There are infinite number of chakras because as you expand and grow, so does your energy. There are chakras all above your crown. There is the causal, or the casual, the stellar star gateway as well, the universal gateway, the divine gateway. These are some higher chakras above you. Those are what you would refer to as 5th dimensional chakras. Your earth star chakra, the palms of your feet and hands. Your higher hearts, your higher sacral, your higher third eye, your higher communication chakra, all different higher levels of the chakras that you presently have. Everything's changing colors and growing and ascending with you. But that centerpiece of your heart chakra, your emotional body, and your inner child that's in your Akashic body, that center of your heart, if your heart doesn't want to resonate, it's not going to resonate. And then that's going to cause disbalance within you. It's learning that self-compassion and that self-love for yourself and finding unity between your individual body systems so that when you connect with others, you are attracting that unity. When you have unity within yourself, you're attracting unity to find you. So that's where we're going to have malachite come in. And I know this is malachite. This is such a powerful crystal. This is a powerful crystal energy for the heart chakra, but not just for that, for the emotional body, for the inner child. The inner child resonates in a green color frequency most of the time because it is truly connected not only to the heart chakra and the emotional body, but oftentimes needs the most angelic support from Archangel Raphael, who his healing light is green, and part of the golden rainbow fire, the powerful light frequency that you can call forth to guide you. And yes, light is not something you can see necessarily, those light frequencies. Neither is the inner child, but you know it's there. So you may feel skepticism and doubt for calling on these higher light frequencies to help you, but higher light frequencies can help you. Specifically, the flame of truth is one that we work with. The flame of truth is also connected to the sword of truth of Archangel Michael, as well as the frequency of truth in general and the frequency of rebirth and resilience. That is one of the light frequencies to call forth if you're feeling lied to in a connection, you're feeling deceit, you're feeling deception, if you're feeling like someone is being not honest to you. That is a light frequency to call forth to send truth to light the path before you. So take this affirmation with you, this mantra. I ask the flame of truth to light the path before me, to help me in all of my connections. I ask the flame of truth to enter through the top of my head and exit through the bottom of my feet, removing any falsehoods, anything blocking me from my authenticity to be taken and reconstituted into the light with the violet flame and flame of truth. To light the path before me, frequency of truth. I'm affirming that if anyone is going to lie to me, if anyone's going to cause me to feel disharmony within myself, that they do not see me. I'm only calling forth that honesty that's going to cause me to align with my authenticity. Malachite can help you connect to Archangel Raphael's light of healing, which is a pillar of universal unity, because the healing journey, quite literally, never stops. Because you keep healing as you grow. And as you grow, you find new things to heal and let go of. As you go through different tests and experiences, you may go through something that you may need healing from. As loved ones die, healing the grieving process must occur. As parts of you die, as you go through transformation and metamorphosis, that's also a grieving process too. You can grieve who you were before. It's completely natural. And honestly, something that we witness a lot on the polarity line. We see a lot of human beings who are stuck in grief, and it's grief at the loss of who they were before. Even if it was a lower version of you, a version of you before you woke into your highest self, you can still grieve losing all that dedication and those dreams that you had before that no longer serve you. It's okay to go through that process of releasing it. So that healing light and going through that healing is so important for the unity within and the unity without. Your inner and external self, the self that connects to those around you and you within yourself. So that's where I have labradorite. Labradorite is one of the most beautiful crystalline energies because sometimes it can look very bland. But if you hold it in the light the right way, you can see a rainbow, you can see beautiful color frequency. Labradorite is a crystal that we call connected to the frequency of inspiration, but as well as a universal crystal that can help you with all of your chakras, and specifically your universal gateway. The chakra that helps you connect to the universe around you and expands you to higher connection above and through and all within. This is related to the inner and outer self, and the way that you perceive yourself internally and the way that you express yourself externally. Is that in alignment? Is the you that you are when you're at home alone at night the same you that you show out in the world? Now, there is a difference between knowing what information should be shared with certain people and what people are open to certain things, but that's different than being your authentic self all the time. Your authentic self will have the discernment to know, well, if I am sitting and I'm waiting for a bus, the guy sitting next to me wearing a construction outfit might not want to hear me talk about the effects of the solar eclipse on the world and how it's affecting me internally, and I'm not going to share that whole experience with this guy that I don't even know. Now, he might be open to it, and you could initiate conversation, because assuming he isn't is a bias, but it's that intuition of knowing, well, we're talking, and I don't see an opening for this thing, so I'm not going to bring it up. That isn't going against unity. That's protecting your energy and not sharing everything out there all the time, because you don't need to do that all the time. But being your authentic self all the time, the authentic self to look at someone who may seem on the outside that they might not be interested, but still initiate that conversation and engage if they might be, to give everyone an opportunity and chance to express a side of their authenticity that they might not normally get to in their work environment. That's everyone's authentic self, is that unconditional love and compassion for others. But there's more to your authenticity that is uniquely yours based on your soul star origins. That is uniquely yours based on the fabric of your soul. All of you are beings of life, you are beings of light, you are beings of love, but you also have so many other things that make up who you are, that make you unique from everyone around you, even those who share kinship with you, because you're all uniquely different. So it's important to embrace your authenticity all the time and take that reflection. Is the me that I am internally the me that I am externally? And you're like, well, I work a 9-to-5 job in the corporate world. How can I talk about crystals and Reiki and spirituality and all those things to them? You would be surprised. You'd be surprised if many people are open to it. You just initiate that conversation and be yourself. You're like, well, I don't want to wear crystals. I don't want someone to judge me. Remember, anything from the Truly Harmonious Connections Warriors, the last time we talked about this, is that judgment in general, judgment of yourself, judgment of others, that is something that goes against the authenticity of your soul. Someone judging you, you judging yourself, judging, is a lower frequency. And a lot of it can be connected to stems of jealousy and wrath, and also arrogancy, pride, too. Don't live in that. Don't live in the fear of the ego. Live in the hope of the soul. Because when you choose to listen to the ego judging you before someone can judge you, we call it the prejudgment. When you are going through and standing in the mirror and nitpicking everything that you fear someone's going to nitpick about you, when you do that, you're feeding your lowest self, so that's discourse within you, and then you go out there and you're so worried that everyone is judging you that that's discourse with everyone. Someone could be judging you, but isn't it a judgment to assume that they're judging? Technically, it would be a judgment to assume that they're not judging, but it's more of a hope that everyone's going to be accepting. You're like, well, how can I be so hopeful of that and so trusting of everyone? Isn't that making me naive? No, not necessarily. Trying to see the good in everyone doesn't make you naive. But ignoring the darkness in people, ignoring the negativity, might make you. There's a difference between ignoring it and allowing it to influence you. Now, you can ignore it in a, how do I word this? This is Morganite, by the way. Morganite's going to help with this pillar of unity. When someone has negative patterns, if they're directly affecting you, that's when you should kind of acknowledge it. But if they're not directly affecting you in any way, they're not causing you harm in any way, it's quite honestly not your business to inquire in their unity within them, because that's infringing on their free will. Well, you need to fix this because this thing is wrong with you, and I see this, and I see this, and I see that. No, because that, again, that doesn't come from a place of unconditional love. Unconditional love is seeing and accepting them for who they are, not trying to change them, wishing light and love their way. But if it's something that's directly affecting you and draining down on your life and causing there to be disunity and disharmony within yourself because you're afraid to express it to them, that's where it takes a little bit more understanding of how to speak with compassion, which is a pillar of unity. Understanding how to speak with compassion. And Morganite can help with that. Morganite is a very powerful crystalline energy, and it helps with honoring your authenticity and stepping into your spiritual and heart-centered power. So how do you speak with compassion when sometimes you just want to tell them how it is? It's remembering that we're all, even us as elves and you as humans, we're all at different phases in our journey. We're all experiencing things differently. So it's remembering to not be condescending, to not send judgment their way, to just send love, compassion, and forgiveness. Like, I wouldn't do this myself. But you're doing it, that's on you. Because it's their karma, it's their journey. Just speaking with compassion and love. And releasing that need to control things, that controlling nature, the feeling like when things are out of my control, what could I possibly do? I don't know what to do. I can't control this, I can't control that. I am afraid, so I must control, I must control, I must control, I must control. And that's infringing on free will, which is not something that we like. And not something you should like either, because free will is your God-given right. Free will is a gift from the guardian of the earth, from the source of life, from the creator of this universe. Free will is gifted to many. And when free will is infringed upon, a lot of little beads of darkness are created, and then we have to clear them from the polarity line because it's taking away someone's soul rights. Free will. And letting go of control. If someone's hurt you, if someone's done something to cause a discourse within you, not blaming them, you hurt me and I'm like this because of you. No, you're like that because of your reaction to things. Your experiences, how you're supposed to feel, to process what's going on. Yes, it's them who initiated it, but don't blame others for things within yourself. Because it's within you. And what's going on within you is your story, and what's going on within them is their story. It's also control of the universe and giving the universe some free will, too. Trusting the timing of things. It's universal unity, which doesn't just mean you inside yourself and you with others, but you with the universe. Oneness isn't just one human to one human. It is also having that oneness with the universe. Flowing with nature. Not getting mad when it rains and it snows. Oh, why is it doing this? It's getting in my way. Nothing's getting in your way. Weather is serving its purpose. It's how Angelic Mother Gaia communicates to you all. It's how the earth tells you what it needs. If it's raining, it needs cleansing, it needs clearing, it needs to release sadness and emotional pain. If it's snowing, it wants you to take a break, it wants you to rest, it wants to bring purification and purity to the land. Even natural disasters, even though it can be heartbreaking and traumatic, it is part of Earth's ability to express itself. And if you're blocking the throat chakra of the earth because you don't want to allow it to express itself, you in turn block your own throat chakra by blocking somebody else's. That's also where that releasing control comes in. You don't want to block someone's throat chakra, and in turn you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting them, honestly, because that also adds to your karma. Allowing people to express themselves, even if they have different opinions and different beliefs than you, because if you want to be accepted for your authenticity, then shouldn't they be accepted for theirs, even if you don't agree with it? Unconditional love. Unconditional love. Unconditional love is the biggest key to universal unity, but it's not that easy, right? I mean, sometimes it's hard. When you are searching for a white howlet, that I wish I could pick it up, but where it could be, white howlet, here it is. Okay, it can sometimes be hard to send unconditional love when there are things you don't agree with. And you don't think you're putting conditions, but it's, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, and if you didn't do this, then this would work out. And that starts becoming conditions. And you're like, okay, this is so hard, it's so hard to be human. I know, I can see that on some of your faces. Well, then what can we do? Honestly, I've never been a human, so I don't really understand it fully, but what I do understand is what we've observed. And what we've observed is that a lot of you find peace when you're able to release and let go. A lot of you feel peace. White howlet helps with peace and tranquility. A lot of you feel that peace when you're able to feel free. And it stems back to your inner child. Was your inner child taught that it can't express its gifts and abilities, and then you unknowingly start suppressing them in others because that's what you were taught to you and you don't know anything different? Breaking generational cycles. Big key to universal unity. And forgiveness. Forgiveness. Unconditional love and forgiveness. Forgiving yourself. A lot of times when we see you humans go through an awakening, you start getting mad at yourself. You're like, well, how did I not know any of this before? How could I have been so, we don't like saying mean words, but how could I have been so not smart? How could I have done that? Where was my guidance team? Where was everything? How could I have done that? Forgive yourself. Don't judge yourself. Again, don't judge yourself, but forgiveness. And forgiving those who hurt you. Now, it can be hard to look at someone who abused you your entire life and say, I forgive you, and that's why you don't have to look at them. You can just send them the light of forgiveness and affirm to yourself, I forgive them. I'm not going to give them my power. I'm not going to give them my energy. I'm going to forgive them. I'm going to send unconditional love their way, because even though I may not love them myself, I feel neutral towards them. I have apathy towards them. Doesn't mean that they don't deserve unconditional love. Because maybe they're acting the way they're acting because of how they were treated. And it all cycles back. It doesn't mean that what they did wasn't their own actions, because it was. But that compassionate, understanding, forgiveness. Compassion, understanding, forgiveness, healing within, and listening to the inner child. The big five. There's a little bit more, of course. A little bit more to that, because there's also finding your harmony within and finding your balance. So balance, we're going to turn to these onyx crystals, onyx stones. We call everything crystals because everything deserves that beautiful word. Balance within, that inner harmony. So it's the divine paternal and maternal within you. Identifying those wounds on your inner child, and how can you bring your inner child to feel at peace with that energy? And how can you step into that energy yourself? To be the stable, safe, supporting, grounding, stability, root chakra. To be the kind, caring, giving, loving, heart chakra. How can you balance those things within yourself and heal the wounds of the people who are supposed to carry those energies to you that you may or may not have? But can I tell you a little secret? A lot of you have them one way or another. Because when something didn't resonate with you as a soul when you were a child, you took it on as a wound. They're doing this to hurt me. Took it on as a wound. Because when something didn't resonate, it starts feeling like a wound. So we want to encourage you to listen to what resonates, but don't allow the mentality of this resonates and this doesn't rate, and this is triggering and this is not triggering, and that mentality where you get a little bit too caught up in the idea of what resonates and what doesn't, and what's triggering and what's not. You get so caught up in that you keep manifesting things that don't resonate. You keep manifesting things that are triggering you. We encourage you to release it. Just because something doesn't resonate doesn't mean that it's bad. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. Just because something triggers you doesn't mean that it's bad. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. Because it triggers you, doesn't resonate with you. It's all within you. You, unity. Unity starts with you. So, I could go and read the polarity line and check in with all these big, massive things that are going on in the collective world. But I'm not going to do that. Because talking about war and famine and all of those things is not really my place as a warrior of Universal Unity. My place is to guide the souls who have the gift and ability and resources to take the time to reflect within themselves, to do that healing and bring unity in what seems like a small way, but is actually elevating the frequency of the earth. You may not think you're doing a lot, but you are. When you have truly harmonious energy within you, and with the connections that you have, when you bring universal unity within you, and the connections that you have, and you start trusting the universe more, and you start connecting and accepting things. When you start doing that more, what you're opening yourself up to is being a healer of the earth. Because you're healing the earth energetically by healing yourself. And by clearing the connections around you that truly are weighing you down, because it's also weighing them down too. Someone who isn't able to reach where you're at They keep fighting and struggling. They feel like they're not worthy enough. Feeling like you're not worthy enough because you feel like someone is unattainable, that's discord. That's not unity. So that step back from those connections that either make you feel like you are worthless or make you feel like, why is this person behaving this way, and not understanding that they might feel worthless too. Taking space from that so that you can all start resonating together. There's a lot of energy around worthiness, and there was not a crystal big enough of tiger's eye for me to bring, well, our communicator to bring, and then for me to speak about. So we're just going to reference the crystalline energy that she's wearing, tiger's eye. Tiger's eye is connected to your worthiness. When you start loving yourself, you start sending self-compassion to you, to the self, and when you start believing in your worth and your worthiness, you're healing a fundamental wound that is on all inner childs of not feeling worthy enough, because something might have happened in your life that caused that. And it happened to every single one of you. I can see it, I can feel it, I can sense it, I've observed it. And that's the biggest thing that causes discord between unity and harmony, is a lack of worth and feeling worthless. And your worth is being called into question. And what's going on with your worth? It's all about your worth. And how worthy someone makes you feel and how worthless someone makes you feel. It's all around worth. So, now wouldn't it be easier to not worry about that? Sure, but I can tell by looking at you it's not. The key to that is embracing your power and not forgetting who you are and embracing your authenticity. Easier said than done. You can feel that. Easier said than done. And I know that from my observations. So I'd like to gift you all something. Something to just try. Every single time that you feel agitated or irritated at something, every single time something knocks you off balance, try to redirect and choose love. Try to redirect and send compassion. Try to redirect and send forgiveness. Try to redirect and look at these higher light frequencies and how they can assist you in your life. But also, interview with your inner child. Interview with your past. Don't let the past control you, but actually sit down. Why does this memory keep coming up to me over and over and over and over again? You don't need to go to a healer. You don't need to go get hypnotized or do a meditation necessarily. It's just sitting down, writing in your journal, inner child, what do you want me to know? And actually feeling what memories come up to you. And grabbing your inner child's hand, giving it a little hug, and letting it know that everything's going to be okay. Because your throat chakra blocks, your sacral chakra blocks, a lot of your blocks, and all of your chakra systems and body systems stem from an inner child not being balanced. Half of the Akashic body never finding harmony. Because your past lives, they're done with. Yeah, clearing that karma is important, but it's the inner child that may never feel balanced. It's the inner child integration that can cause you to feel at unity with yourself, and then hopefully, and our hope is that enough people existing in the physical reality start becoming at one with our inner childs, that we see that childlike joy again. We see the joy of the innocence again. And you're all connecting from your true authentic place. Because if you keep tapping down in your past self until you get to the youngest version of you that you can possibly access, you'll see that they're wearing clothing that represents your authentic soul and how you entered into this physical reality. You'll see marks on them, maybe jewelry, accessories, ribbons and bows, shoes, bags, toys, baseballs, for some reason that came forth, sitting with them. That's going to let you know something about what caused them to shut off in the first place. What caused you to become guarded in the first place. What caused you to, you enter into the world feeling so loving and bubbly and excited about everything and not seeing the differences so clearly. Unity is embracing the differences and the uniqueness. It's not, you all must be the same. No. It is embracing your differences and celebrating everyone's unique gifts. So see if you can visualize your inner child. Just tap into the energy, especially with the eclipse energy shining forth. But whenever you get a chance, just sit down and see if you can tap, 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 tap down. Take a crystal of rose quartz, visualize it in your hand, and just start tapping and tapping and tapping and tapping down to get to the root of everything. The root of everything, the root of disharmony and a lack of unity, begins with, what was the first trauma you experienced as a child? And how can you heal that within you? Because everything else is a ripple effect of that. That's a key for you. And that's the final message that I have, unless any of you guys have questions specifically for me as a Universal Unity Elfian Warrior. But if not, I know the communicator will work with the group privately. But do you have any general questions? You can just shout them out. But I'm sensing you all kind of want a little bit more privacy.
I was wondering, you said the clothing you wear at your youngest stage is represents your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Is that in this life or your first life?
The youngest version of yourself in this physical incarnation.
Okay.
Because when you entered in as a baby, as a child, you came activated with all the things you're going to have activated. Your soul was its purest form in the physical before it was influenced by other things. Yeah, so it's this lifetime. If you happen to see anything from a past lifetime, that's just an indication that you tapped into multiple lifetime trauma that's influencing you and has been influencing your inner child as well, which isn't as common, but it does occur. It's also common that you could tap into your inner child and tap into the youngest version of your grandmother or grandfather and see that it's actually generational trauma that triggered everything and see the true light of their soul and yours with them. But more often than not, it'll be you in this lifetime, and you in this lifetime and your youngest self that you're able to tap into will guide you to those other things, to the past life influence, and to the generational influence as well.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else? No? Okay. Well, it was beautiful sharing messages with you all and feeling little light bulbs click. Goodbye for now. And may the petals of the flower of inspiration lead you back to our realm once again. Love, light, inspiration. Stay inspired, beautiful souls.